Hello. So, setting appointments. Setting appointments are pretty important, right? Because without appointments, well, you can't get any new clients, okay? You need to be able to speak with people to get them to sign up and use your business. But actually getting those appointments can sometimes be difficult, especially if you're watching this and you're someone who's more reliant on their ecosystem, on word of mouth, on referrals, on the market, on waiting on the phone to ring. All of these things can limit the amount of people that come into your business, right? Because it's out of our control. But by investing in marketing, in lead generation, in ways of getting new people to see your business, then all of a sudden you can bring more eyes towards it. But it's still not going to solve the problem. You can get a lot of people who are not actually genuine, who aren't really in a position for you to help them. It's about getting the right people through. And I want to show you today about how you can get the right people through into your pipeline, into your calendar, and ultimately into your client bank as well, so that you can work with more people on a monthly basis. So let's actually run through it. Let me just show you exactly what we're doing and how you can get more leads in and how you can actually get them onto your calendar as well, and the appointment booking process that goes into that. So we're going to be running through a client account today, and just for context, software that I'm using is Go High Level. Go High Level is the CRM that I'm using. I have my own framework specific to brokers. If you're looking access to that, by all means, let me know. But, well, it's completely free, by the way. But I was going to say the software is free as well. So if you want to obviously use that, you can get a 14-day free trial with it. And that can give you a bit of a base to do it yourself if you don't want to follow my instructions. But as for today's video, I want to go through the importance of having a way to catch attention first. So the first step to that is obviously going to be having eye-catching ads that you can use, right? So I'm going to take you through the ads that I have live for the client account as it stands and actually show you exactly what they look like. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go through this on Loom, which is what I'm recording on, by the way. I don't believe that it's actually capable of picking up the audio. But if we have a look at their ads, you can see here, this is a local campaign, by the way, in Northern Ireland, where I'm from. You can see in the ad.
Are you looking to buy a home in Northern Ireland? If so, this is the perfect video for you. So give me 60 seconds to show you exactly how I can help. Let me guess.
So pretty simple. We're going after first-time buyers. Are you looking to buy a home in Northern Ireland? If so, this is the perfect video for you. And then we set a time frame on it. Give me 60 seconds. I'll show you how I can help. And we go into explain a little bit more about the service and explaining away some of the problems that people might be facing as well. So if you watch this, you'll see what I mean by that.
You're probably a bit confused and overwhelmed. You're asking yourself, how much can I afford to borrow? How big of a deposit I need? And if now is actually the right time to find a property to purchase.
So all these questions people are going to be facing, right? We want to speak to problems that people are struggling with, because people will spot problems in their life more than they'll focus on their goals and their aspirations, just how we're wired, okay, as humans to survive. Because what we did in the past, cavemen, how we've evolved. This isn't a biology lesson, so I don't want to go into it in too much detail. Catching people's attention is the most important part. We have quite a lot of ads live at the minute because we're doing a testing phase. But once we've caught people's attention through content, through ads, we've done this on Facebook and Instagram, you need to actually get the people into the pipeline as well, right? Because just having someone view your video is pointless if it doesn't turn into attention that you can use. So this is the landing page that we're using to actually capture their attention. If I click on the link, I do believe it'll open here. And for context, by the way, this is optimized for mobile. So if the display looks a little bit off, then it's because it's on the laptop. But pretty simple. Looking for help with your mortgage. Obviously, this is the place that you want to be. We have a VSL, video sales letter, to actually help educate. Is this the right place for you to be? Why should you click on the button? And we have a couple of reviews and things like that. Like I say, it's optimized for mobile, hence the display is all off. But at this stage, this is how we actually turn that attention into leads, right? I define a lead as someone who fills out this form. So someone who hits submit. We have an option for name, number, email, and this is the closest thing I have to a magic trick, just by ticking this box, I recognize that the business will be in touch to discuss my inquiry. So if we have a time waster lead, if we have someone who's not genuine about a conversation, we can put them off at this stage. It's a mandatory tick box. And I'll also add at this point as well, you can throw whatever questions that you like in at this point using Go High Level 2, using the software. If you want to ensure that someone has a particular amount saved for a deposit, you can do that. Throw in a question, do you have £10,000 saved for a deposit? If no, okay, maybe we're not the people for you. Do you earn a particular amount? Have you been in the UK for a certain number of years, for example? There are things that you can add at this stage to disqualify people that you don't want to dedicate your time to. But it's all about your personal preference and what you consider to be a qualified lead for you to speak with. But generally speaking, for those who are looking for a conversation, that is enough for me to determine that someone's genuine. So it's the process that we use. Obviously, once that's submitted, it's at that stage that they'll then come through to the pipeline. So if I come back to the pipeline here, laptop's being slow. It's at this stage that they'll come into the not contacted stage. And the process at this stage is to actually then get them onto the calendar for a call. So we have our own automatic SMS chatbots. They follow up with the prospect by SMS. And more often than not, you'll find that whenever that's been sent out, 2 minutes after the submission, it does seem like a genuine person that's actually messaging. They'll book in for a conversation via SMS. But if they don't book in for a conversation via SMS, we'll be actually following up with them through manual phone setters who will call these individuals to actually have a proper conversation with them, because not everybody responds to their text. People can miss them. It slips through the gaps, so on and so forth. So we have manual calls to make sure that we can prevent that. I'll literally take you through it. It's pretty simple. So call me backstage. This is for the ones that we catch who say, oh, I'm actually not free at the minute. Can we speak at another time? And for context, by the way, if you're watching this and you're ringing leads and someone says, can you call me back? Don't ever accept it at face value. I would always push, and I would just say, hey, listen, if it's a bad time, by all means, let me know. Just before I let you go, I would only need 2 minutes of your time. Is it so bad that you don't have 2 minutes? Or you can ask them, okay, just before I do, we get a lot of spam inquiries. Is this a polite way of just telling me to leave you to it? I only want to help. Would it be helpful to have a conversation at another time, or would it be helpful if we just left it here? And sometimes you will actually find that you can disqualify people who say, oh no, I didn't mean to. I don't want to speak to you. And you can disqualify them and kick them out of the pipeline. You might be thinking, oh, well, that's a low quality lead. The reality is nothing in this world can be perfect. And if we can stop dedicating our time and energy to people, then that's more important to me than getting more leads into the pipeline. Because if the leads are low quality, then it doesn't matter. So I would rather disqualify people at that stage and stop dedicating time and energy to following up with them. But for the ones that are genuine, obviously, you're going to want to just continue to call. Continue to call. If you paid for the lead already, there's no reason that you wouldn't try to continue to communicate with them. So you can have the SMS follow-ups. You can continue to follow up with them automatically through SMS and through email, so on and so forth. And you can continue to manually call them as well. I'd recommend that if you're doing this yourself, so if you're doing this as a broker yourself, just come in once a day. I'd recommend you come in once a day. Obviously, twice is ideal. People can be busy at particular times of the day. They might not answer. But once a day is kind of the bare minimum that you want to do. You can do it in the morning, you can do it in the evening. Just give people a call. And if they answer, perfect, then you can go ahead and you can try and book that appointment with them and just explain this, and we can have a bit of a better chat, see if there's any way that I can help. Continue to call if they don't answer. We have a call 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's for the first 5 days. We have a call at day 7, day 14, and day 30. And at that stage, you can move them into, as I've called it, redial, or you can just disqualify them as not being interested. It's up to yourself. If you have the time and you feel like it's productive for you to continue to call people, then by all means do it. But I would probably encourage that you spend more time analysing your metrics, analysing your funnel, to try and stop the people getting in that don't answer the phone in the first place, as opposed to continuing to dial people who aren't answering intentionally for whatever reason. And that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. We have automated SMS, we have manual follow-ups via the phone, and the whole goal of that is to get people booked in for an appointment. So if I actually show you the right-hand side of this pipeline, we have not interested. Obviously, it's pretty self-explanatory. Not everybody's going to want to hear from us. We can get spam inquiries, we can get 6-year-old Sally, or we can get Doris with dementia accidentally submitting. We want to put them under not interested. We can have call booked, which is what we want everybody to get into, and we can have follow-up. So follow-up, I'll give you an example. We had a lead come through this week, and at the end of the conversation, despite the fact that they were fully qualified, it turns out that they were actually already working with a broker. They thought they were speaking to us, the lender. From my perspective, that would be their broker's job. And the fact that they're still looking to speak with lenders suggests to me that maybe the broker's not working at the pace that they want them to. And if we can service those people and get them a product or get them an agreement quicker than their other broker, then by all means, I'm going to look to follow up with that person. So we put them in follow-up. We're going to check in with them a week after that initial conversation to see if there's been any progress. If not, hey, we can get you an agreement in principle today. Do you want to have a conversation about it? Cool. That's a perfect example of the follow-up section. So if I briefly just go back through it, obviously we have the landing page, which we use to actually get the attention into leads. we have a form. Make sure, obviously, that you put some form of qualification on that. A good cost per lead for a first-time buyer campaign is anywhere from 10 to 20 quid, ideally 10 to 15 quid. That's like a really good cost per lead if you're using landing pages like this. 20 quid, 25 quid, it's absolutely manageable, don't get me wrong. It depends on the quality. If you're getting every single person booked in, let's say you have 100% appointment booking rate at a cost per lead of £50, that's absolutely fine. It's about your cost per acquisition overall. So how many leads turn into appointments, how many appointments turn into clients. And so long as that's manageable, so long as your cost per acquisition is less than about sort of 33% of the total money you make in a case, then you're doing okay. But that's the process for you guys. I wanted to just take you through that, show it to you myself. You can build all this stuff on your own, by the way. With Go High Level, you're capable to do it. It might take a little bit of time to obviously familiarize yourself, but you can. That's the purpose of like a trial, for example. So you can go ahead, you can do that yourself. You can do it for free, or you can simply install my framework, which is also free. And if you don't want to do any of that, if you'd rather I just did it for you, then by all means, you can click on the first link in the description, whereby I'll try and sell you on my service. But don't do it if you don't want to be sold to, because I don't want to feel bad for annoying people. So yeah, listen, appreciate you tuning in for the video. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one as well. Take care, guys.